next book, Lamentations, and you should have some verses underlined. But Lamentations is a beautiful poetic masterpiece. And Jeremiah sits down and writes this book as he looked over the smoldering ruins of his beloved Jerusalem. And what he writes is, his theme is, worship the God of hope when everything's burnt. Now next time everything crashes and burns and your whole world's falling apart, your family, your health, your finances, whatever is falling apart, your emotions, look at God as a God of hope, because Jeremiah's voice rises to the wail of sorrow, a lament. That's why it's called Lamentations. It was his lament. It was a funeral dirge over the city of God. But God's Spirit inspired it as a message for all God's people. This book is actually a 5-stanza master-crafted poem. Chapter 1, 2, 4, and 5, each of those chapters, each of the verses start with a successive letter, 22 letters, 22 verses, one for each letter of the Hebrew alphabet. The middle, chapter 3, has 3 22-verse poems. This poetry is called an acrostic, and it's a beautiful, powerful form of communication. Right in the center, Lamentations 3, in verse 23, it says, great is thy faithfulness. That's why we hope in God. And what the Lord teaches Jeremiah is, no matter how the world was falling apart, his personal world, his national world, no matter what, he could hope in God. Actually, I'd like to just show you in chapter 1 something if you've never seen it before. In chapter 1, verse 2 of Lamentations, it says in verse 2, she has no one to comfort her. Well, the Lord says, if you come to me, I'll comfort you. But the reason that there was no one to comfort Israel was they wouldn't go to the Lord. Then if you look at chapter 1, verse 3, it says, right in the middle of the verse, it says, she has found no rest. The Lord said, if you come to me, I'll give you rest. If you've ever been restless, it's not because the Lord isn't providing rest. It's just because we don't come to him and ask for it. And then finally in verse 6, it says there, right in the middle of verse 6, it says, that have found no pasture. Do you remember the 23rd Psalm, verse 2? I'll lead you in green pastures. He says, I will give you refreshment. The Lord says, I will feed you, I will lead you. Psalm 81:16, I will feed you with the finest wheat. I'll satisfy you. But these people would not come to God for hope. Lamentations, worshiping our God of hope.